Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dragon King 72 Media LLC. Dragon King 72 Media LLC. Today is December the 4th at 1:46 p.m. 2025. December the 4th, 2025 at 1:46 p.m. I hope everybody had a great new year. All the good people have a new year, and hope all the good people made it to the new year. And we all know that Donald Trump bombed Venezuela. Most people are calling it an invasion. Most people are calling it a disruption in another government where the United States deem itself the savior of all things outside of the United States. Meanwhile, the United States can barely save itself, our economy, our healthcare, and all the things that are going on here. So it is not a surprise that this is what's happening here. This is what's happening. So, Donald Trump had immediately, I ain't calling him president. I might call him that, who knows. Donald Trump, immediately after, had called a press conference. And in that press conference, he said that we're going to control Venezuela. We're going to run the country. We're in charge down there. We're going to, be the masters of everything in Venezuela. Then he went on to say, and I just caught the clips. He went on to say that lots of oil. They're going to have lots of oil. They're going to make lots of money. I saw it again this morning. He said he was going to give the money. Some of the money is going to go back to the people, and the money is not going back to the people. Okay, because that was the same thing that our government has said when they had entered Iraq. And we found out later that there were no weapons of mass destruction in that. And that was another Republican president administration during that time. And that was about the oil, because those people in Iraq never did receive those benefits from America taking over Iraq, nor Afghanistan. So they didn't get the Iraqi and Afghanistan's people. They did not receive any benefits from America seizing that country and supposedly taking all the oil reserves. I'm sorry, there is no support. They said they were going to do that, and the citizens never received that oil. So that's where you know that once again America has fucking lied on the center stage and the global stage, as it's called. And so we're in other countries worried about what the hell they've got going on. Meanwhile, our country's in shambles right now. We've got a fucking ridiculous ass president who don't give a fuck about nothing but his family making billions of dollars. As a matter of fact, since Donald Trump has been in office this time, him and his family have made a total of $7 billion. He's made all that money, and American citizens, we've had to pay for his thirst for power, for his thirst for respect that he does not deserve. I don't give a fuck if the man cured cancer, HIV, multiple sclerosis. He would still be a fucking monster. He would still be a fucking monster, because outside of anything that he might do good, there's 10 times worse things that he's doing to make any good that he may have done look like it was just a fucking figment of our imagination. So, then they interview Marco Rubio on NBC, and he's asked the question, who is actually running Venezuela? And he can't give a straight answer. What he does say is we're going to change the policy. Yeah, but who do you have in place to help administer that policy? Who do you have in place to help make sure that policy stays where it needs to stay until the country can get restructured in a way that is more democratic, that is more, I guess, acceptable in terms of how the world is going, how the world is going to see the country. You know what I'm saying? How the UN is now going to be more inclined to embrace what is going on. And he had no answers, you know, and he had no fucking answers. I'm not surprised, because he often looks like he is a deer caught in the headlights on some fucking dark country ass road where you got MAGA folks waiting at the end with hoods on and pitchforks, you know, and not to mention swastikas on their forearms and shoulders and shit. So I'm not surprised. But when you say that you're going to run the country that you just invaded, because at this point it's an invasion. You know, Marco Rubio, he said it wasn't an invasion. He said it wasn't an invasion. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. My dog got some snow in his pad, but so it was an invasion. He said it wasn't. It was a very strategic, very kind of, calculating, very small operation. No, you went into somebody's country. You bombed the fucking country. Anytime you go somewhere else and your war has not been declared by Congress, and you go and drop bombs and do all of these military actions, that's a fucking invasion. That's a fucking invasion. I don't care what you say. That is a fucking invasion. But here we are. Also, before I leave, because it doesn't need to be a separate video, JFK, his granddaughter died, I believe it was either the day before New Year or right at New Year. His granddaughter had died. And of course, Donald Trump said some very disparaging comments about, his people, about the young lady dying. And so I wanted to see what everybody else was saying on TikTok. Some young lady, African American girl, has said that there is some type of curse on the Kennedy family because, they always die young and die tragic. Well, a few of them are still alive, old as fuck, and they haven't been unalived or passed away yet. So I don't think that is necessarily true when it comes to some of them. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them wink, wink. Some of them wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Especially the older ones who out here talking this shit. But that what she said did make partial sense, because John F. Kennedy did die young. RFK, he died young too. So she does have a point. But some of the old ones are still around causing the bullshit. So maybe there are some unfortunate exceptions. But this is what y'all president is out here fucking doing. We won't be watching the same shit tomorrow, because there's going to be something different tomorrow. Why is Congress allowing this shit to happen? Not that they have any control, but it's like, what is going on in our country right now? We're going to other countries, and let me just say, Maduro was not a nice person. He did a lot of horrible criminal acts. We do know that. But again, I'm not in that country. Some people will always believe, like MAGA, that people like Maduro and Trump are good people and they do nothing bad. So I'm sure there are some people in Venezuela who felt Maduro was a good person. From the agenda that we get here in the Western world, he wasn't. But same thing with Donald Trump for those. But I can assure you, with Donald Trump, I can't speak for the citizens in Venezuela, but over here, Donald Trump is that fucking monster that you guys hear about. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and there you go.